Welcome back to Grow Joyfully. I am out in the main garden today. Yesterday I didn't get outside one time. I spent the whole day inside cleaning and making peach salsa. So that gave me a little break from outside. I don't know if you can see how low-lying the smoke is. The fires seem to increase and get worse. And if you're out here very long during the day, it makes it very difficult to breathe. But today I wanted to do some tying up and some harvesting if there's anything to harvest. It's nice and cool right now, probably in the mid-60s. But it will get very hot this afternoon. It's time to take out a few things like this bean bush. It's not happy at all, and it's taking up room, and I'm hoping that I can plant something else in its place and it still has time to be able to grow and harvest. Here's some little yellow or orange sweet peppers that I took the seeds out of from the store, and it's growing. We harvested 2 whole okra off here. I know, it's amazing, isn't it? Time to tie these guys up before they get away from me. I'm tying and trimming on this cucumber and melon wall. It's a time of year where the garden is very lush, but it seems like we even have less time to be outside because of the heat and of course the smoke. I've got some cantaloupe growing here and here. I still haven't got the support for my little watermelons, which I need to do right away. So there's one there. Where's the other one? I think it's hiding from me. There it is, right back there. I don't know if I want to do too many more pickles this year. I've got a bunch of cucumbers that are at the perfect size to harvest and put in the fridge again. I've already made 12 pints, and I still have a lot left from last year, so I'm trying to decide whether to do more or just try to sell them or what we can do. You want to definitely make use of your harvest as it's growing, but sometimes you just don't want to get too far ahead in your canning. I don't know. That's a very delicate balance. What do you think? Maybe comment down in the comment section below what you think. If you should just take advantage of the time that you get great harvest, regardless of how many jars you put away, or if you should just go for plan B and giving them away or whatever you can do with them. I don't know about you. Please comment about this below. But I have reached a time in the growing season where I'm trying to keep my interest going. I'm finding it difficult. Again, I don't know if it's the terrible smoke in the air because it's difficult to breathe or what the deal is. But it's hard to push through sometimes and keep the interest same as it was. Here is a ripe ground cherry. I'd like to go out and see my son and his family today, so maybe I'll see if I can harvest some and take them out to my daughter-in-law who really likes them. There's really not that many that are ready right now, unfortunately. Hopefully there'll be a bunch of them get ready all at once. Here's one. And here's another one down here. I don't know if you can see. That's why they call them ground cherries. When they fall off, you know that they are fully ready. You see how the husk is dried up? This is hard to do with one hand, but this is what a ground cherry looks like. And they get even more golden, the actual ground cherry. So this husk is dried up and looks like it's ready, but that's not overly golden or overly big. Here's another teeny one. They're so small this year. We'll have to see if they'll get better and bigger. We've been watering plenty. The Bibb lettuce is coming up. Seems like it slowly to me. And the cilantro that I planted, not a lot of those came up. Here's the spinach. There's a weed. A little bit lackluster this year. I have definitely fertilized and watered well, so I'm going to put it down to the actual year. We have lots of lovely cucumbers growing, tons of blossoms. Here's a cucumber, and here. The plants look quite healthy. I think we should be getting cucumbers for quite a long time now. Here's the Brussels sprouts. I don't really see much forming. And it's flopped over, but I'm just going to let it flop. The Romanesco broccoli, I am not crazy about it. So far, not so good. At least I tried, right? Lots of carrots growing all throughout the garden. They're still pretty little. Trying to keep an eye on them so they don't get too big. This is a lovely little carrot harvest from today. I also have a lot more down here, plus some basil and some green beans. And cucumbers. And more cucumber plants here. I see a few growing. There's one down there. It's time to tie this one up too. Here's one tiny one. One tiny one here and a bigger one here. I should definitely get enough cucumbers this year for pickles, and I want to try relish. I tried it once and I did not like how I shredded it. I didn't like the texture. So I need to find a better grater or just chop it by hand, which will be slow going. It'll give me the sort of texture that I want in a relish. Finally, this pot is growing things. Beans and cucumbers. Here's a bean. Probably an Anasazi. Probably an Anasazi bean because it's climbing, and I think that's the only variety of climbing bean I grew this year. So we have the cucumbers and the beans in the pot. This is getting crazy and full, and I love it. The Anasazi beans growing right up over the hoop. I think the contender beans did not grow well for me this year. I won't write them off completely because it was the first year, but I'm not impressed. The tender green beans that I grew over here in this long bed far outproduced the contender beans. Again, it could be the soil conditions. It could be just the year. Who knows? I won't give up on them though. Here's some of the tender sweet beans in here. I haven't even had enough to freeze so far between selling them at the farm stand and eating them, which is okay. Definitely not enough to pressure can. Time to tie up my beautiful chocolate sprinkles cherry tomato again. This bed's looking promising, looking a little better. This plant here seems to be unhappy. We have a lot of trouble keeping this end of the garden watered because of the sprinkler situation. Look, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, at least 10 on this black Krim tomato plant. That's exciting. And I'm really looking forward. Wow. Oh, look. Habanadas. They're so tiny. They may not get big, but I'm sure excited that I even got the fruit to grow. So we'll take that as a win. This pepper plant Has 1, 2, 3, 4 peppers on it. They do grow peppers for me, but they don't get really full and meaty, and I don't know, just not like the ones you get out of the store. What's your experience? So I'm not going to give up on them. I'm just going to keep loving on them and fertilizing them. Here's a couple of bigger ones here. Little ones here for the small sweet bell pepper. The wall of cucumbers continues to grow. Very impressive. I'm really watching this one here. Looks like the buggies are starting to get to it, but I wanted it to get it. Oh, this one too. I wanted it to get bigger and turn red, but I may have to just harvest them and bring them in. The sweet potatoes look wonderful, and they're spilling over onto the ground. I'm trying to keep them out of the sweet peppers. This is going to have to be probably my best and biggest success story, I think, for the whole gardening year. It looks really great. I'm training the watermelon across the top of the cattle panel and some of the cucumbers. Here's the watermelon from a better point of view. I don't know how big they're going to get, but I've got to keep them from getting wedged into the squares of the cattle panel, or they'll get stuck and be of no use to me at all. Look at this little cantaloupe. I really hope I get some decent melons this year. I never do. Oh, here's a cucumber. That's a happy thought. The cucumbers on this side are starting to grow. The nasturtiums are beautiful, but they're now competing for space with the cucumbers, so I might take them out as cute as they are. I used coriander seeds yesterday in the pickles I made, so those were the ones that I had grown last year, and here's some more that are growing. That's kind of exciting. The celery looks pretty good. I mean, it's not what you get in the store with the great big stalks and things, but I could start using some of the stems right now. Maybe I will. Okay, Mr. Berkeley tie-dye needs to be tied right straight up. It is recovering and growing and flopping over. Okay, I have it tied up and the sucker's taken off and it looks better. Here are the golden beets. Wondering how they're doing. Oh wow. There's one right there. It's not huge, maybe about the size of a quarter. There's one there. Of course the wire is on it and bothering it. It keeps the cats out, but then it doesn't give it space to grow. So that's a double-edged sword. Oh yeah, some of those are getting really big in there. I might have to consider pulling them out. I don't eat beets, and my husband has a whole bunch of canned beets my sister made him. So I don't need to can any this year, so these are totally to give away or sell at the farm stand. I thought if I grew golden beets, it might attract me a little more, but a beet is a beet. It tastes like a beet. This brassica bed is an impressive sight, yet I don't think I'm going to grow the Romanesco anymore. They're really kind of strange, very strong broccoli taste, very strong. I don't know. I'd rather grow these little broccolis that produce small crowns here and there quite frequently. So far, I'm liking the cabbage the best. We had a kohlrabi, wasn't in love with it. I think it's an acquired taste or something that you get used to. Maybe something you grew up with. I'm using the kale in smoothies and drying some for food powder. Here's a Mountain Princess. Looks like we've got one ripe. There we go. Oh, there you go. Nice beauty. That makes it worth it, doesn't it? Just something like that, a little dividend like that. There's a Roma plant that looks reasonably healthy, but only has 2 tomatoes on it. The Mountain Princess plants look far healthier so far. Here's a Payette dwarf, like the 2 I have back by the gate, looking a little bigger. Time to tie up these guys, although they're determinates and they have a bush habit of growing. They're looking a little wild. And here is another Mountain Princess. So far I'm loving it. There's our faithful Lucy, sitting there by the fence, keeping watch on her property. That bed right there's turned out to be very pretty and very pleasing, but we worked hard on it. We've got several more beds to just completely take apart. It's been a good summer, but it's been a tough summer. And I wonder how you guys are doing. How is your garden? Don't you love the road noise? Yeesh. How are your gardens growing? Are you still feeling excited and motivated and energetic about it? I'm feeling a little lackluster today, but looking at it from this vantage point, it's worth all the hard work. What do you think? I hope you have a very happy day, that you get a lot done, that you feel like you've accomplished a lot. I hope you grow joyfully. Make sure you come back and see us again. Thanks for stopping by. It's Saturday morning, late morning, getting a lot of things done. We pulled the wire, the 2x4 wire off of this bed, and we saw that it was time to harvest some of the beets. They did so much better than I thought they would. Take a look at this. There's golden beets, Chioggia beets, if I'm saying that right, Chiggioia, and a few of the Detroit beets right there. So I'm quite impressed. I'm going to go get some more seed and plant some more. The radishes didn't turn out all that great, but I'm hoping, since it's the second week in August, we will get some more beets when the weather gets a little cooler. The brassicas and everything are just doing amazing. I'm still not crazy about the Romanesco broccoli at all. I need to get out here and spray the dickens out of the Brussels sprouts. There's terrible aphids on that one. Got the determinate tomatoes mostly tied up. I have a couple more over there. It's just work, one thing after another. And try to enjoy yourself. I'd like to get out here and weed eat this. I'm going to go to lunch with my son, our oldest son. That's going to be fun. I just made some blackberry syrup this morning, which was a lot of fun. I only got about 5 half pints, but it was a lot of fun. And I think it's going to taste super good on pancakes and whatever. I got a good carrot harvest out of here yesterday. We've got cucumbers growing. Things are looking good on this garden tour Saturday. My husband put a couple more little boards up there at the top of the shade pavilion so that the roofers can now come and finish it off and put a roof on there. He's helped me with the hose that I water this garden with. It also has sprinklers too, so you just have to hook them up and hope for the best. They don't always hit everything, but he put another one over there on the raspberries, which is going to help a lot. because even though it's a small patch, we do want to move it eventually. It does produce for us, and we will take every berry we can. This little Brussels sprouts, still growing, still looking okay. Nothing really grown yet that we could actually use. I keep taking the leaves off of this, and the red cabbage, and that crazy Romanesco broccoli that I've left there. But meanwhile, I've got some spinach, these carrots, beans, lettuce, and cilantro growing in these areas. So it's grow, grow, grow. Grow time. It will be nice. It's a little clearer this morning. I don't know if they got rain up in the mountains or what, but the smoke is not quite so horrible as it was. Today is a little clearer. It looked like a real rainstorm was going to develop and go through here. It got really dark, but now it's blowing over. We got zero rain. Surprise, surprise. And yeah, I don't know if it helped up in the mountains at all, because it's really quite scary. All of the forest fires that are going on. I'm still getting blackberries. I've got a freezer, not full of them. I've got a lot in the freezer, let's put it that way. And I'm going to continue to make, I do want to make another batch of blackberry jelly, because people seem to like that at the farm stand. I like to mix my berries and make a triple berry. I think it's a tastier concoction, but to each his own, right? Here's an Anaheim pepper that's just in this little tiny pot that's actually setting fruit. I see 3 or 4 little peppers there. This is an Anaheim chili pepper. Is it the same as the Anaheim peppers I grew 2 years ago that I absolutely loved, that had no heat in them? I don't think so, but I could not find the seed for them. And this is the small bell pepper that was either orange, red, or yellow. There's a habanada. I think I need to bring out away from the ground cherry and my mom's golden glow. Beautiful flowers. Okay, here's another tomato. Needs to be tied up. It is a constant state of affairs, but if we get tomatoes, it's okay. Again, I'm very proud of the beet crop. These guys grew through the heat of the summer, and that is amazing and unusual. Like I say, I'm not a beet eater. I don't eat beets. I can't get the taste for them. But I know a lot of people have asked for them down at the farm stand. So this is just a little quick catch-up garden tour Saturday. Hoping that you're doing well.